Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Well,
Actually, you should do it because you have a better tone than I do. But you can't use it. You can't use it.
I can't use what?
The music.
I'm not going to use the music.
Okay, no music. Ready? And
Okay.
I'll do the intro. But you have to stop long enough to say your name.
So I'm
I'm
going
going
to
to
do.
start with I'm Ketmia and I'm Peter.
And then I'm Peter. Okay.
All right, but you have to do the music the whole time.
All right. Ready?
You want me to give you a beat?
No. Hold on.
Okay.
Ready?
That's it.
What are you doing?
That's like marker.
Okay.
Okay,
Ready?
ready?
Dun 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 dun.
Hi,
Dun dun dun.
I'm Ketmia.
Dun, dun. And I'm Peter. Dun, 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 dun,
Welcome
dun,
to
dun,
the
dun,
This
dun,
and
dun, dun,
That Chat.
dun, 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 dun,
I feel like I
dun,
came
dun,
in at the wrong
dun,
time.
dun, 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 dun,
Oh, it fades out.
dun, dun.
Bro, that was, no, we need to repeat.
Do it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
This is it. This is it for the right one. Okay. So I missed it. I missed it by like a second.
Well,
Ready?
the thing is that you were like, "Hi, I'm Peter,
Okay,
and
we're-
I'm Ketmia."
Okay. Okay, ready?
Ready? All right.
Okay, go.
Dun 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 dun.
Hi, I'm Ketmia.
Dun. I'm Peter. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun.
Welcome
Dun, dun,
to
dun,
the
dun.
This and That
Dun, dun,
Chat.
dun, 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 dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
What an amazing intro that was. Pentatonics, here we come. Are they called pentatonics? Pentatonics. Pentatonics?
Perfect fade out. I can hear it. It just like it's pentatonics.
How do you know? How much you want to bet on that?
Pentatonics.
Here are the options. Pentonics. Pentatonics. Or pentonics.
Pentatonics.
Pentatonics.
Yes.
Okay, no Googling.
Of course, Googling. What do you want me to do? Pull it out of my ass? Out of my
Bleep.
asking price of the...
Believe.
I was asking about the price for the thing.
Wow. Warning at the beginning. Hey, should there be a trigger warning? What happened?
I slipped.
You did slip.
Pentatonics. See? Pentatonics.
Pentatonics. I'm pretty sure I said two.
Pentatonics. Pentatonics.
You know, I always wondered why they became famous. A cappella was a musical form for such a long time before, and there were so many groups that did it. Why? What is it that causes one person to do something and another person to do the exact same something, and then one becomes famous and one doesn't? For example, this morning we were
I even took a breath, man. And then I had to hold it because you wouldn't shut up. You gave me no space. I was like,
so I did. Okay. For example, this morning we were talking about videos that people have done on Instagram, for example, where it's just
my eyes are itching.
so are mine. They said allergy season is at its peak right
We
now.
also have the fires and all the ash and stuff that's really close by to us.
That's even though we are inside the house.
Yeah, but I was outside smoking meat.
That's so why are mine itchy? That's just general. That's just
What's
me.
it called? What's it called when you suffer from what I'm suffering?
In fact, we had that same thing happen. Hold on.
Wait, finish your thought.
I know, because this is a very drastic. Okay, so we were talking about.
What is it?
It's like when you skid off the road.
How
It was very fast.
Do it again.
So, there you go. You did it for me. So we were talking about these people who will do a video just being silly, something funny, something relatable, and they will have 5 people who viewed their stuff versus 17 million people who viewed your thing, and then all of a sudden your video is viral. And it's the same thing. So I don't understand the math.
I think it's luck. Most of it is luck. I honestly think so.
I don't think it can all be luck.
There has luck and then knowing the right people. Because if you
Or paying for the right services.
Paying for the right service. If you hit, all you need is one person to catch on to something, and all of a sudden you have views. For example.
Oh, plus you probably can't have your account on private.
Probably. But for example, right? So when TikTok first started, which was Musically before, right?
Yeah.
So you would like lip sync songs, or you would lip sync videos, you would jump in, you would do whatever, that kind of stuff. When that started, I jumped on. Why am I so close? I feel like
bro. Oh my God. No.
like
I
I'm
swear to God,
stuck.
you do this on purpose.
No.
You are trying to have this thing fall on your head.
Okay.
Listen,
So
the
when
day that it falls on your head, I just want to say, just so that I'm forgiven already, okay? I probably am going to laugh at you. Probably. Because it's going to be so
You know what's gonna be
ridiculous to me.
You know what's gonna happen?
That how has it... You
Listen,
know what? Hold on.
You know what's gonna be awesome?
Wait.
If it falls.
No.
Right? And then
No, it's going to
like
break.
Spider-Man. No, hold on. Like Spider-Man, I'm like on camera.
Except you wouldn't know it's falling. You know, you'll know it fell once it hits you on the head. Here's the thought.
The chances.
Just for a little to-do list for later. We probably should Velcro it down.
That's probably not a bad idea. Do
That
you
way-
have Velcro?
I don't, but I know where I can get some.
There you go. So now you've been tasked with getting the Velcro, and I will put it on.
And adding it to your ever-growing to-do list. Is that what we established right here?
You were saying?
You did that to yourself.
No, I didn't. Did you need to do that? Listen, the day I finish the list, you don't need me anymore. And Leah's wish may come true. So I keep a list.
So then that's the secret, she's going to say. We just have to get you to finish that list quickly.
It'll never be
What do
finished.
you need to finish the list? She's
It'll
gonna
never
say.
it'll never finish.
It'll never finish.
Yeah. Because this morning, while we were sitting for breakfast, you gave me 5 things to do all at one time, and then you wonder,
You listen.
hold on, and then you wonder why I'm a little bit pigeon brain.
Listen. Sometimes I worry about you. Because I don't know, I can't tell when you're joking and when you're being serious.
It's one of my best traits.
Especially when I made it a point to tell you I'm only telling you 2 things at a time so that you don't get overwhelmed.
Shall we count them?
Yes. And then you were saying I give you 5 things at a time.
I'm Cuban.
What does that mean?
You exaggerate everything. You say 2, it's actually 5. No, I say 5, it's actually 2.
Interesting.
I'm 5 minutes away. I haven't even left my house yet. I'm right around the corner. I'm on the
Something will
turnpike.
only take 5 minutes. What does that mean? What does that mean?
You see that?
What does that mean, huh?
Did
The
you
exaggeration is backwards.
Did you see that right there?
Where?
Right there.
Where?
There.
Oh,
You see it? It's right there.
you're slipping a lot today.
Not at all. What are you talking about? I did absolutely nothing.
I don't even know what we're talking about. I think we should. You know, everybody knows what you did.
I did nothing.
I'm just going to call it out.
Nothing.
My mother is going to be disappointed in you.
Marmy loves me enough to forgive me of my transgressions.
What were we saying? Can we start over?
Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. You already missed your entrance.
I know, because you started over at the beginning.
You asked to start over.
No, the conversation.
Oh, okay. Go.
So what are we talking about?
Breakfast discussion.
We're unhinged today.
That's okay. We're gonna bring it back together. We're gonna bring it back together. What were we talking about?
That's my point. Nothing.
Oh, finishing the list.
Nothing important, apparently.
Nothing, right?
No. Shall we call it early?
This episode of the This and That Chat is the shortest episode we've done.
Is brought to you by
Dun, dun, dun.
Quick Oats.
Okay. What is Quick Oats?
5-minute Quick Oats.
You sure about them 5 minutes?
Are you sure about those 5 minutes?
All right.
See, we're always quoting
I don't even know.
movies.
I know. I don't even know what it is that we were talking about.
We were talking about getting famous and
Oh,
algorithms
yes.
and
Okay.
blah, blah,
So
blah.
when TikTok first started, whatever.
Jeez, we're going back to TikTok. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Listening.
Thank you. Talking about how how it doesn't. There's no rhyme or reason, right, for hitting something on there. So I put my hand at making some videos on TikTok on the TikTok to have a little bit of fun.
How cringe.
They were good videos.
No, I'm just saying TikTok in general for me is cringy.
And yet here we are.
I'm being dragged against
No,
my
you're
will.
not. But you're talking about. Anyways.
What?
What was I talking about?
What?
Oh, so on the video, I made a video. I made a few of them where you like, what is it?
Voiceover.
You voice over, you kind of play with it or whatever. And there was a couple funny ones in there. I did, a couple that were pretty good. I didn't think anything of them.
I'm not saying it's cringe for you. It's just cringe for me.
Bro, let me finish my sentence.
Finish. Sorry. Go ahead.
So I did one video, right, where I didn't think it was that big of a deal and a little fun. And all of a sudden, from one day to the other, I wake up and I have 10,000 views on it.
You do?
Yeah. The one where I'm running in and out of the garage. Like in the endless loop coming out of the door.
You have a... No. Wait, we're going to pull it up right now?
Yeah. No? You can keep talking.
No, we're just going to wait for you.
Bro. You make it so awkward, man.
Me?
Yes. See, like this one.
Are you going to play it?
Is this some kind of repeating hallway? Oh, it is, isn't it? Let's go. I'm okay.
How? Why do I... Oh, because I don't have
You
TikTok.
helped me.
I helped you?
Yes.
I recorded that?
Yes.
That seems very stationary.
You
Why
helped
I
me
would
record
remember
it
this?
because you had to start it every single time that I was coming out of the room.
I don't think I did that. Nikki may have done that with you.
You helped me with the other one.
I
With,
helped you with the one that was about liar, liar. I
Liar,
think.
liar.
Yes.
Yeah. You did help me with the liar, liar.
Okay. I don't remember that at all. And I did not know you had. Do you have 10,000 followers?
No.
Only views.
The only views.
Interesting.
But I'm saying
Does
there's...
it use hashtags?
I'm sure.
Do you use hashtags?
Bro, this video was posted like 5 years ago.
I know, but how does... Never mind. I don't really care. You're obviously going to post the video, yeah?
If I can figure out how to download it, yes.
Probably screen record it.
Yeah. Anyways. It's just one...
Oops, we didn't do a pause.
Do yours? Go ahead.
I spilled.
This episode...
I feel like
Hold
I've
on.
already shown
You
my
have
Jaws
Jaws,
cup.
yeah. This episode of the This and That Chat is brought to you by the most delicious cup of...
You have a kiss lips, no.
What?
You have a kiss.
Oh, there you go. This episode of the This and That Chat is brought to you by... Is it Dick's? Dickinson's? Major Dickinson's. Major Dickinson's...
I think you're wearing a...
Pete's-
Hold on, let's talk
Pete's
about your baseball
Major
hat. Let's
Pete's
talk about
Major Dickinson's
look what I even
coffee
have here.
with a delicious caramel creamer.
Because I knew I would spill.
It just happened to be there, and then you use it as if you're.
I did bring it because it was too hot when I heated it up.
Oh, that's right. You did. You did.
Let's talk about your baseball hat real quick.
Okay.
You're wearing a baseball hat backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Pause. Pin. Set aside for later.
Okay.
If we were playing baseball, you would have struck out already.
Why?
3 times you have been dinged. 3 times.
Please explain.
I'm not going to repeat the things that you've said. I'm a lady.
It has been 3. 1, 2. Oh yeah, 3.
Oh, yeah, 3. No more. No more. You have to be on your best
Why are you bringing
behavior.
it back up?
Because everyone else is like, what is he doing?
You're jealous
Of what?
of the fact that I was able to be free in my thoughts.
How true do you think that statement is?
Not at all.
Not at all. See, and this is why I have to say nothing.
Okay.
Because you know.
Yeah.
All right. Baseball hat.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you wearing?
It's an LA baseball hat.
Are you wearing it because baseball season's about to
Baseball
start?
season's about to start this week.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday or Friday.
I don't know.
I think it's
27th.
yeah. Thursday.
Whatever that
I think
is.
it is. So yeah, I'm excited for baseball season. I love baseball. You know how I am. And I'm not a
Obsessed.
No.
You're not obsessed, I'm saying.
I am obsessed.
Oh, okay.
But it is a controlled obsessed.
Interesting.
Because I think we talked about this.
This is my view of your obsession. You don't watch baseball games.
Because it would absolutely take over my life.
So here's the thing, right?
I used to watch 162 games.
But this
or
is
more.
This is
because
probably before you had a girlfriend.
Who has time for a girlfriend when you're watching 162 games?
My point exactly.
I think I had a girlfriend during that time. Anyways, 162 games. I would watch them. And then I would stay up until 11 o'clock at night waiting for SportsCenter. Anyone who's on here who is old enough to remember SportsCenter. Okay?
I was wondering who
Like,
would watch that stuff because I
Bro,
heard the
it was
podcast
phenomenal.
about how it was
I
born.
absolutely loved Chris Berman. When he would go on there and he would be hooting and hollering about whatever hit, and his voice, the way that he was doing it, the inflections and like all the stuff that he was doing, I enjoyed it so much.
So it sounds to me like you're a recovering obsessed fan.
It's called making life choices.
Yeah, that's just so weird. I feel like if I'm obsessed over something, I'm still going to find time to sneak it in there because I'm obsessed with it.
The thing is, that I have a little bit of, when I get in on something, I go in on something.
But we go in on things differently, right? Because
I know, but
I feel that my obsessiveness comes out in a form that you know. For example, what has my latest obsession been? Don't fail me now. I believe it.
Vampires.
More specifically,
Dracula.
okay. And
and specifically Dracula.
Specifically Dracula, okay. Specifically the original novel.
Bram Stoker's
Okay.
Dracula.
I love that. Okay. So, how do you know that? Because I talk about it incessantly. And it's like, oh, did you know? Do you know I read this part? Do you know what happened here? And it comes out so much that you know where my current obsession is.
Mm-hmm.
Your obsession, from my perspective, is all the stats there are to know. I wonder sometimes.
So here's the thing.
How do you know who's still playing, who's traded over here, who's doing
here's the
because I
thing.
never see you watching anything. In fact,
Because
I feel
I'm
like we watch
filling-
baseball because I turn it on.
Okay, because I'm filling my obsession with stats. So
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
I'm
And it's
my
very internal.
During the day, I'm looking at who's playing, who's going where, who's doing what's going where, what's happening, who's on the standings, who's where, who got traded, who got a new contract. I'm on all that stuff. And that's how I'm filling that obsession. Mm-hmm. The problem is
Maybe highlights.
highlights, that kind of stuff. The problem is that I know myself, and I probably will be kicked to the curb if I were to become my baseball obsession the way that I was obsessed with baseball before. I know that that's a problem. So I don't allow it to become that. Okay? When the end of the year comes, October comes, and we're like, the championship series to go to the World
Playoffs
Series,
all
and
that
then
stuff,
like
yeah.
I let a little bit of it loose, just so that I'm able to enjoy it towards the end of it. And I'm a fan of baseball, so I don't necessarily have like that specific obsession with one team. Although the Braves and the Dodgers are the teams that I kind of
That we follow
that
more.
that I lean towards, because so like there's pictures of me when I was a little kid dressed in Dodgers gear because of
Oh my gosh, where are those pictures?
I'm sure my mom has them somewhere. Tommy Lasorda, like Earl Hershiser, like the that time frame for me was such a like phenomenal enjoyment,
And
know.
you played it.
And
so
I played during that time, and
you were living
but
your
I'm talking
dream.
about even smaller, like
Elementary, no?
yeah, elementary.
Yeah, that's
and,
what I'm talking about.
I started more like in like the middle school age.
Oh,
I
okay.
think. I don't think I played. I think I played like 1 year of little league before going into like middle school and that kind of stuff. But like my obsession then was with the Dodgers. And I don't know why I picked the Dodgers. It was just the team that I picked. The Miami Marlins or the Florida Marlins weren't in Florida. They were non-existent.
They
and
didn't
then-
exist at all?
Not back then. Not until 93.
In 93 was when they became
That's
a
their
team?
inaugural season, yeah.
What?
Yeah. And I gave the Marlins a chance.
And then they won in 97. So very shortly thereafter.
Yeah, but they paid for both championships.
What do you mean they paid?
They bought their players. They bought a team. They put a team together, they won the championship, and then they sold everybody off.
Uh-huh.
That's the story of the Marlins. That's why I can't follow them. I can't do it. They're not a baseball team. To me, they're a farm team. They bring people in and they leave from there and they go and they become superstars somewhere else. You know?
A lot of people probably disagree
yeah.
with you.
Why? It's the stats are stats.
No, I'm saying the diehard fans.
Oh yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
They're gonna be
Absolutely.
like, get out of here.
Get out of here. But like it's like let's use Miguel Cabrera for an example. You know who that is. Yes? You don't know who Miguel Cabrera is.
Maybe if I saw a picture.
Yeah, anyways, he was a huge part of the Marlins, and he was just being completely just stomped here. There was just no growth for him. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't. And he gets moved to the Detroit the Detroit Tigers, and all of a sudden, he's
A
a
star.
superstar. You know, and it's like, why does that need to happen? You know, like
Why did that happen?
because he's going to a team that's actually going to build a team around him. Every player has a specific set of skills. He's a certain type of player, so you have to put people around him to be able to highlight what he's really good at, right? But if you have a team, which is what happened in 97 and what's happened in 2003, where they just put a ridiculous amount of superstars on the team, yeah, you're going to be good enough for a year, maybe two, but all those personalities are not going to be able to work. They can't mesh. There's just no way. They're just not going to succeed for a long time. So that's why they get to the end of the year and they're like, we won a championship, pay me. You can't pay all those people, you know? This past year with the Dodgers, look what happened. They had, oh goodness, I'm drawing a blank with the guy's name.
Shawnee Otani.
Well, Shohei Otani, Freeman, who left the Braves to go to the Dodgers, but Freeman is not a guy who's getting paid anywhere near what Shohei Otani was paying, and Freeman was the reason they won the World Series. And then this other guy left the team and went to the Mets, right? because he gave a good performance through the playoffs and the postseason, and they couldn't afford him. So now he had to leave and go to another team that's trying to build a team now around him. The success is it's messy. But anyways, that's kind of like, I can talk about this forever, and we're going to move on because I have a little bit of my obsession coming out, and I can just go into the details of stuff. But it's that mindset where there's no way of taking care of a team for the fans. They're taking care of the players because of what their performance is. And then what ends up happening is the fans lose out. The Miami Marlins fans are the ones that miss out the most. We went to the Banana Ball game, and we saw that the stadium got packed. There were people. They were selling seats. They were selling stand-up seats.
Well, and then we saw what happened in Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa at Raymond James Stadium, a football stadium.
65,000 people.
That's ridiculous. And the home opener for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays did not sell out. That's what's crazy.
But isn't it at the end of the day? I know it's a novelty. But isn't it at the end of the day about your fan base, right? Because we can say this about anybody. You can have an actor come and do some event, and you can have a lesser actor come and do an event, and it's not going to draw the crowds or the media attention or anything like that. Like, the A-lister will, right? Mm-hmm. The crazy thing here is that you have a novel, like what is it? An entertainment team.
It's a show
that's coming who has more of a fan base than your organization does.
Yeah.
And it should be the other way around. But a lot, I guess, that's why at the end of the day, I feel like it goes back to the whole question about, why is it that one person will do a video and another person will do the same video, and all of a sudden they're on the news, a viral sensation overnight? You know that a lot of people, when the whole TikTok ban was coming and people were wondering, what am I going to do? Because this is what I've done for money this whole time. How? You watch these videos, and I know there's a lot of people in the world. You just don't figure, how do you hinge all of your bets on the fact that people are going to maintain the viewership to keep paying you?
The world changed. We talked a little bit about this last week.
Yeah, with the
way that the kids are, like, jobs are different. There's digital stuff. Like,
and we're doing this. It's very hard to get into the digital job market.
We're doing this for fun. We want, and we're enjoying it. And are we trying to get better at it? Absolutely. We're improving the way that we do our video. We're improving the way that we do our recording.
So to be fair, so I don't get undue praise, because I don't like to take undue praise, I feel like you want us to get better, and I support you wanting us to get better.
Yeah, but
I don't care.
I know you don't care.
But
so you're right here with me.
But I'm saying, because I support you, and I'm always going to support the things that you want to do. So you were like, we need to get better cameras, and I'm like, I guess, like, if you think so, we need to get lighting. We need to do mics. We need to do TikTok. Like, to me, I go back to the fact that this was all supposed to be an audio journal for our kids. That's all this was. So if the audio was not 100%, you can still make it out. You know what I'm saying? And then it became a video, and then now it's like, oh, let's do other things to draw attention to the channel. It's like, even when you tell me, oh, guess what? I told somebody about the chat. I always react the same way.
But it always,
I'm like,
I'm not doing it.
Why are you telling people about the chat?
But I'm not doing it and advertising it. It's just, it comes up.
I think you like that.
It's fun.
You see it different. I think that if we were to take off and all of a sudden have
Would I have fun with it?
100%.
Yeah, so would you.
No.
Come on. You're going to tell me that it doesn't change who we are. We had a comment this week where someone asked us, right? Is there a way for us to be able to see who you are? Just
Someone.
Paul. I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just trying to.
You know that someone is gonna know what you're saying.
I know, and that's,
and we've
that's
called him
that's
out
okay.
before.
That's okay. I love the fact that he's engaging. To me, listen. I don't know where he's from.
I am shocked.
Listen, I don't know where he's from. I don't know where he's listening.
I don't know what age demographic.
We don't know what age demographic
he lands in. Is he in the United States? Is he in another country?
And what's cool about it is it doesn't matter because we're just getting.
But I am curious.
And Paul.
It's a lot to ask, though. It's a lot
to
ask.
But what I'm saying is,
But
what I'm saying is, like, he was like, don't take this the wrong way, but, let me see the banter back and forth, like that kind of stuff. So we tried a little bit, and we, on top of that, someone else told us that we should try going on TikTok.
Olsey.
Right? So I opened up a TikTok account for the this and that chat, and we posted a couple things. It's just some behind the scenes stuff. On our story on Instagram, we put, some behind the scenes of when we went to the show last night. Like just us being us.
I think that at the end of the day, I mean, I hope that you understand what I mean, right? It's like I don't see myself having fun with something like that. Because I feel that it brings on a set of responsibilities and expectations that I never wanted to have.
But right? Here's the cool part.
For example,
none of this is what's going to put food on the table.
No.
We're not trying to make.
But that's beyond that.
Yeah, we're just having fun.
No. It's beyond that, what I'm saying.
Okay.
Even if they were paying $1 million an episode, that's like, okay, thank you for that. But what I'm saying is that I'm not even talking about the money aspect of it.
If they were paying $1 million an episode, I would wear a monkey suit.
Again, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
This isn't Friends. Like, we're not going to get,
I think you're missing the point.
Okay.
So I'm trying to explain my point. My point is that I don't want to say it in this way because I feel like it sounds so bad, but I am not cheering for the success of our channel.
Okay. I got you.
You understand what I mean? And I feel like somebody could hear that and say, whoa, that's so negative. But the thing is, that's not my goal. It's not my intention for this to grow or to have, like, for example, when Olsey suggested we do the TikToks and everything, I know where he's coming from. He's coming from the side where he enjoys our content and he thinks other people would enjoy this. It would be so amazing if you could get more people to hear you. I understand that, right? And I can see how there is a benefit to that because sure, if there's another person who feels like they relate to us and all this stuff, great. But I'm not catering to you. You just happen to stumble upon us and you're following us along the ride. Do you understand?
100%. So and I want to make sure that we keep that. I do not want to cater.
Right. So like, for example, we follow Sean Lowe and
I have her last name, Gudici.
Yeah, Catherine and Sean Lowe. Okay. We follow them. We loved them when we first saw them on The Bachelor, and we followed them ever since, years and years already, right? Over the years, and obviously from the very beginning, they already had a big following, and now they have a massive following, right? So now, any private little thing that goes on in their life, they have to go and make a video to explain something private that is happening in their life because they have all these fans that are expecting something from them. That's what I mean when I'm talking about catering to people, right? what's if we had for example, we've had a few deaths in our family. We haven't sat here and talked about what the funeral was like or what that was like or what the suffering was like, because
It's none of their business.
it's not that it's none of their business, but it's like, I feel like
But
those conversations.
it is none of their business. It's
But like, again, since this was for our kids,
Mm-hmm.
we had those conversations with our kids.
with our kids.
And it is not a pressing need for me to discuss what that was like for me. And if it is a pressing need, right, then I'll talk about it. But only if I feel pressed, which we have talked about in episode, something that we want to discuss, which is very, very different than what we normally do, because it's a topic-based episode, right? And it's not going everywhere, which I kind of feel like last week's was sort of topic-based, where it was get to know us.
We picked a topic that came up and we ran with it.
Right. But it was, I feel like everything was sort of leading to that. Everything was connected to it, right? Versus today, we're kind of all over the place, right? We've kind of settled into a little thing right now, but
aren't these the best episodes though? I
never know. That's the other thing is I never
like,
know.
So
because sometimes I feel like this episode was awful and it sucked.
So let's talk about something. Mm-hmm. I listen to the episodes.
Yeah.
You don't.
Right.
Have you ever heard one of our episodes?
Not in its entirety. No, maybe 5 minutes.
Really?
And it's mostly because you will ask me to listen to a certain part.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I enjoy our episodes like somebody out there enjoys our episodes. I listen to our episodes not remembering everything that was said. And I don't know. I kind of feel like even right now, we're talking about last week's episode. And, we talked about our personalities, right? And there were things that came up in that conversation that were educational for me.
Like what?
Just like your thought processes behind things. Like it allows me to kind of dig in a little bit more, even though I'm getting nasty feedback. Even though I know you that much more than anyone else, I hear you talk about something and I can learn a different way to approach you. And it could just
love that, by
it
the
could
way.
be about anything. It could be you're talking about the fact that you love dinosaurs and today. Let's use today for example. Your obsession. The way you were talking about your obsession. The way that you talk about things incessantly. For me, yes, it can get annoying. Right? But I hear you talk about it because you're sharing it with somebody else. And what I hear is not the fact that your obsession is annoying. No, the fact that it's something that you're passionate about. You're wanting to absorb as much of that topic as possible because it is fun and enjoyable for you. So instead of me saying, here she goes again, talking about Bram Stoker's Dracula, right? Now I can say, tell me about what you heard today, because I know that this is important to you. So I can go into that conversation just a little bit different. That's me learning about you in a setting that is not normal. This is not normal. How many people do you know sit in front of a camera, 2 microphones, and a computer and record a conversation? I don't know very many
Without
people.
there being any intention.
Without being
behind
any intention.
I don't know. There might be. I'm sure that there might be.
There's
I
other
just
stuff
have
out there.
never come across.
But for me, this has been very fun and educational. And I've listened to last week's episode 3 times.
You told me you were listening to it twice when
straight.
I had talked to you.
One back to back.
Do you know what I'm listening to again?
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah. because reading it was not enough. I had to listen to it now, you know. And can I tell you just very quickly that I feel like there's so much I missed in the beginning. And now I'm
'cause
listening
now
to
you're
it
listening
again.
to it. Now you're just
and
intentionally.
it's like now I'm looking for things. So
Well, it's
anyway,
like when you see a movie. The first time you see a movie.
yeah, what did we see recently? Oh, we're watching Sopranos again. And it's so funny because there's so many things that are coming out that we're like, huh. And I also wonder where you are in your life again, where you read something or where you see something. Maybe you've experienced something in your life.
Are
that
you
now...
afraid to listen to yourself?
No, afraid.
Not afraid. Are you... What's the word I'm looking for? Do you not want to... Is that where your hesitation is in listening to yourself?
To me, I feel like I was already in that conversation. I feel like I would be bored. Because I already had it.
And yet, when you listen to the little bits and pieces, you're like, I was laughing in the same spots.
In the same spots. Even when you call me over and you're like, look at this little bit right here. Exactly where I laugh again, which I find so hilarious. Because obviously it's funny for me. And it was funny the first time. And it continues to be funny every time I see it. And yet, to someone else, like yesterday, we sent a video. I watched the video before I sent it. I laughed so hard. I sent it. And the response was, I didn't laugh at all. Right? Wait.
From one person.
Okay, but still, I didn't laugh at all. And so that's where sometimes I wonder, you know, I will be at work doing very serious work. And then all of a sudden, I'll start laughing over something I thought about that was hilarious. And a lot of times it's me just imagining something happening that hasn't even happened at all, but it would be so funny if it did. And I laugh. And if I try to even share it with someone, it's just not.
Right.
It's not the same, right? So maybe I don't know. I have my own thing. And I don't know that I would be bored. I don't know. It's just, to me, I was already there. I already did it. I had that conversation. I said it. And then now I'm going to hear it again. I don't know. There's no draw for me for it. It's very weird. I think it's weird.
Yeah.
But also...
But again, everyone has their preferences and things.
And I think we talked about this too, that we've seen things where a lot of people will say that they've never watched a show they were in, or they've never watched a movie that they were in. And I don't know why they don't do it. Do they not like...
I would think that I don't know if I could watch a TV show or a movie that I was in.
And yet there's millions of people who adore and are obsessed with your character on that thing. So do you understand? Like, I've always found it to be, wow, you know, do they even watch TV shows? Yes, because I've heard other actors
I've heard
say to another actor, oh my God, I love you. And yet they're in the same business doing the same thing, and they will sit down and watch that and say,
think
wow,
it's different.
That's an amazing actor right there. Maybe
I think
they
it's
feel
different
like they're
when,
not.
Yeah, but I think it's different when because you're acting, you're playing somebody else. You're not you.
Yeah.
So you know yourself intimately.
Yeah.
Right? And then all of a sudden you're watching yourself be, you know, a mobster. And that's not you. That's not your way of being. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that would be a little bit different.
What if it's a thing that you're passionate about?
I'm sure that if it's something that you're passionate about, I would think you would want to watch it.
For example, this week you said that we have enough content in our life to have a Discovery Channel show, right? And in my mind, I immediately jumped to cameras following you around while you're doing communities. Okay. And the hilarity in my mind that I saw, the hilarity of watching you get so mad at your workers because they're looking at you with like blank expressions when you tell them to do something. In my mind, I was thinking about how the camera would just zoom in on your face.
Look at your face.
And you would be like, oh.
Listen, it would be an episode of The Office. And I'd be Jim.
They're blowing the leaves this way. And your guy's holding the bag this way.
I'll give you a
I
minute.
was thinking, oh my God, the whole show, there would be a spin-off called Landscaped. Oh my God. Wouldn't that be so?
Okay, here's a perfect example.
See, this is me.
Here's a perfect example of. Here's a perfect example.
I don't know if anyone could hear.
Hold on.
Could you hear what I was saying?
Somewhat. Here's a perfect example of what happened yesterday. You watched the video, you laughed about it, you sent it to somebody, they didn't laugh. I don't find what you just said funny.
There you go. But you are laughing though.
At you? Bro, look at your face.
Is it bad?
Yes.
Oh no, is it bad?
Your eyes right now are so filled with
They're
tears.
burning. You know, the thing is, I have burning tears. Did you know that?
They're on fire.
My tears burn me. It's something I have to talk to my ophthalmologist about, actually. So, anyway,
Anyways,
I thought about my end, where the camera would be following me around, and it would just be
you have
zooming
stuff
in
too, though.
on my face when patients are talking to me. Okay? And it would be
Again,
just
Enough
hilarity.
content. There's enough
And this
content.
is just in our work. And then here at home,
Hold
like
on.
I had a thought. Hold on, because we have to paint this picture. We have a massive couch, an L-shaped massive couch. I'm counting 12 people can sit on that couch comfortably. Adults. We bought it because we used to entertain. Okay? Used to. That's for an After Dark special.
I don't know. After dark?
Okay. And we wanted everyone to be comfortable because when we host, we'd like people to feel cozy and comfortable and just thought after, you know, like somebody thought about you and we put in this thoughts to all these little details. And I thought about it recording us with you pressed up against the edge of the couch because you lean on the edge of the couch and here you are pressed up against it and I'm almost sitting on your lap because I need to be close to you because that is how I ground with you at the end of the day. And then for the camera to just look at all the emptiness and it's like, here you are encroaching on my space.
Say that line again.
Which part?
The almost part.
Almost what? What did I say?
Almost sitting on my lap?
Almost sitting on your lap.
Yeah. Say that part again.
And here I am almost sitting on your lap. Bro.
Almost?
Yeah. Clearly I wouldn't be because my sciatica would be acting up.
So your butt is not on my lap.
Correct.
But your legs are, your arm is, your torso,
completely laying on you. My arms are around you like this.
The only thing that's not on me is your butt.
It's my butt.
So you're not sitting on me. You're sprawled. You're sprawled on me.
Oh my God.
And then here's the best part. You do it with absolutely no care.
Yep.
Right? You're like,
wait, what do you mean no care?
You just said yep because you know exactly what I mean. You're like, this is how I'm gonna sit, and you go. You're like, prop. And then I shift my leg, and you're like, you need me to move?
And what do you say?
I say no.
Exactly. Are you saying you're lying to me this whole time?
Do you know why I say no?
Why?
Because in the time in which you have been sprawled for that time, you have caused my body to go numb. And if I remove you, then I need to start over. I'm kidding. We have our cushiony spot that we find ourselves in. And it's almost, there's like a hole in the couch where we sit. Where we sit, and that's the way that we sit. And yes, it's a 12-person couch, and we sit in half of a person's seat.
And that would be, this is yet another thing. And mind you, you invite me. So there's times you're like, are you coming over this way? And I'm like, oh, he wants me. And there's other times where I just say, hey, can I lay on you already? Like, are you done with whatever you're doing?
Hold on.
Hold on. And then
hold on.
Oh, no.
Hold on. I'm going to give you a side profile so you can see what it looks like when I don't call you over. I'm you. It's you the entire time, waiting for me to invite.
How sweet of you.
Is that not true?
Be careful what you're asking.
But I'm asking you.
Are you asking for
real? Is
real?
it not true that
Are you asking for
I'm
real?
asking for real.
I don't think so. I think I'm going to spare you.
No. Is it not true that you're asking to scoot over? Bro, you're such a liar. What are you doing?
What else could I be doing?
What are you doing?
Checking to see if you're awake.
Oh my God.
I told you I was trying to spare you, but you insisted on going there.
Do not.
The whole time we're watching something, I have to be, because I hear the breathing change and I have to know, wait, is he asleep? No, he's good. Are you asleep? You're good. Hey, your eyes are closed. Now I have to stare at you for a while to see, are you slow blinking or are you asleep? You're asleep.
You make it so difficult for yourself.
Yeah. Listen, this should be a poll. I think this should be a poll.
Okay.
Because I know from just videos of other couples that this is a common issue.
It is a common. I'm not denying the fact that I fall asleep.
No, I know. But that's not the poll. The poll is this, right? What's the big deal if you do fall asleep? Wife or husband. Either partner, right? They fall asleep. What's the big deal? Because essentially, I think that the partner who fell asleep is like, don't let it be a big deal. Just keep watching, right? But the thing is, the essence, the principle is that we were doing something together.
Mm-hmm.
We usually involves the partner who fell asleep asked, let's watch a movie. Let's watch a show. When the other partner who knows they're falling asleep said, hey, let's go to bed. And they're like, no. Let's watch a movie. So you acquiesce. And then what happens? You're left alone watching a movie you didn't want to watch.
Okay. But let's be
there should be a rule where if the other one falls asleep and the thing that you wanted was to fall asleep with the TV on, at least let me change it and let me watch something I want to watch then.
Listen, let's be fair.
Alone. Because we do want to watch the same things together.
Let's be fair.
No.
Let's be fair. And
Bro.
Let's be fair.
One more time.
Let's be fair.
That you say.
Let's be fair.
And.
Let's be fair. Where I have told you.
Why are you?
I have told you that there are times where that is exactly what I need for. You know how you need to ground.
For
how
your
you need to ground
decompression.
with me. That's my grounding.
Correct. But I'm saying for all couples everywhere, not just for us, for all couples
I don't
everywhere.
care about anybody else.
Okay, so then I say
Let's-
for us.
For us.
For us, it would be awesome if what you desire is I just want to fall asleep on the couch because going to bed feels like too much of a finality to my day and I'm not ready for that.
What's called bedtime procrastination?
A revenge. Yeah. If that's the case, then it should be that if I do fall asleep, hun, change it to something else. Keep me here because I want to hear the TV going.
The
But
problem
there
is
is-
that
there is-
sometimes I'm in and out. And in the in and out, if you were to change it, it would ruin my...
You're in and out.
My in and
I
out.
know, but then that sounds to me like you want to have your cake and eat it too. And that's not what I'm offering.
Okay.
Because when we watch a show together, there's a lot of conversation that we have in the middle of the show. Commentary, whatever. Whether it's a UFC fight, whether it's a game that we're watching, reality show, we're commentating. I'm either asking you a question or, oh my God, did you see that? Or we're discussing. And when you're in and out, there's none of that happening, which to me has greatly reduced our engagement together watching something,
Okay.
you know?
Fair.
So that's why I'd rather turn it off, even if you kind of know what's going on. Because sometimes you wake up right when someone's getting evicted or someone has gotten voted off or someone lost something. And you're like, oh, I know exactly what happened. I know who went home. Yeah. That's like waking up at the end of a movie and seeing, oh,
He's the
he
murderer.
finally got the girl. I know what happened at the end of the movie. He got the girl. Wow. Gee, thanks for paying attention, So
You're welcome.
to me, that's the essence of it. That's why there's such a, if you're falling asleep, let's not watch it then. Because there isn't going to be that engagement.
Right.
And anyway, for you and I, we don't pick things that it's just like you're the only one who wants to watch that and I'm sitting with you. We always pick something that we both want to do together, because, for example, right now we're watching Sopranos, right? Again. So we already know what's going to happen. And I am constantly, the same way my mind is obsessing over Dracula, my mind is obsessing over the next episode and what's coming up. And I know something's about to happen. And I'm like, man, when we finish, I keep telling myself this, when we finish this run of Sopranos and I get a want to start it again, I'm just going to watch it alone on my phone so I can binge and binge and binge at the speed that I want to go, right? But right now we're doing it together. So if we're watching it together, even though I want to binge by myself, I can't finish this episode and watch another episode and another one with you asleep, because then you miss out. Would you do that? Would you do that with me if I were the one who was falling asleep?
Bro, you don't fall asleep for anything.
I know, but would you keep watching without me?
How am I supposed to come up with a theoretical situation like that?
Because you have an imagination.
That's an imagination of like someone who's a genius.
What?
I don't think I've ever caught you falling asleep.
Yes, you have.
Not falling asleep.
And I did warn
You just
beforehand.
fall asleep.
I did warn beforehand. No, because you have told me, are you sleeping? You have said that to me.
Yeah, I've said that to you.
And I have said, I'm extremely exhausted. And the thing is, the moment I lay on you, that's like a drug. Okay. I find myself just like. And the thing is, if we're watching something, for example, we're watching a cooking show, I make a note of what time it was when I started feeling the drowsiness coming over me. because I can hear that you're sort of a little bit yourself. And I'm like, if we both fall asleep here, it's fine because I know exactly where we can rewind. It's not anything that I mind. Remember the day?
Except now, for some reason, everything just continues to play. And when we come back to it, it's like 7 episodes in.
Well, no. And this is when we turned the TV off already.
Yeah.
It just keeps playing. I don't know why. But do you remember the time when I want to say we were watching, The Rookie?
Okay.
And we were both so tired, we fell asleep. And then when we woke up, it was like 6 episodes in. Do you remember that?
Yep.
And the whole time it was playing. But we were so dead tired that day. So that's when I tell you imagine something, that's like a would you rather. Did you hear the last would you rather?
The one your sister put on? I didn't enter it yet. I've been thinking about it.
All right. So the would you rather.
Pull your mic just a little bit away from you.
Why? Too close?
You're doing a lot of...
What's the Kendrick Lamar song? Isn't that how it goes?
Boom, bam, 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 bam.
That's what I thought of right now that you said that. So, the would you rather was, would you rather know the exact time and day of your death? Or would you rather know the time and death, the day and time of death of everyone you love?
You answer it first because you already have your answer. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to give you mine right after.
Okay. I already answered the question saying I would rather know mine.
Okay.
And there was what is the answer and why? And the reason for that is because I would not have to live with the agony of when I'm going to lose everyone. I just know I'm the one who's going. I know when I'm going, and I'm going to be spared the suffering of knowing when everyone else is going. And now I feel like I would be obsessed with wanting to just be with them the whole time, but I can't be everywhere at the same time. So that was my answer. It's a very dark one. You're going to choose the opposite.
No, I would choose me knowing me. Mm-hmm. The problem is that I know that I would change how I do everything.
Yeah.
And that's a problem for me.
Okay.
I feel like I know I'm going to die. Natural, right? It happens. I just don't think in that way. But knowing, let's say, my date of death is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I now know I've got so many days left before I get to that day. I would be a little bit reckless.
Backwards hat, reckless.
There would be some reckless. It would be reckless.
Motorcycle reckless.
Not motorcycle reckless. I'd be.
That's
bringing,
how I know. That's how I measure you.
I'd be bringing back my.
That's how I measure you.
It'd be like I'd get the little paper that says your date of death is such and such and such and such, and then I'd be like, I'm getting a motorcycle, and it would go. Your date of death is, and it would give me a new one.
Have you seen these foreign countries? They have these commercials that they do, these ads that would never fly here. Okay. And they did an ad where there is a machine that says, put your finger here to know your date of death or your cause of death. Mm-hmm. Right. And so there's a girl who's running and she stops by the machine. She reads it and she's like, She decides, I want to know. Right? Super, super healthy. Obviously, you can tell by the way she's dressed. That's what they're trying to portray. She puts her finger in there, spits out a little paper. She looks at it and it says old age. And she's like, yes, right? Like, awesome. I have an awesome life. She keeps running, crosses the street, gets hit by a car, dies. Camera pans to the guy driving the car. Old man. Old age killed her. And it was for some vehicle, right? Or some insurance for whatever. And it's like, Reckless.
It definitely would not be something they do here.
Wait, I'm stalling. I'm stalling because my words were going, and and I'm just trying to find my way back to them. Okay, you said
Go back.
no. This is what Michael Scott says. That sometimes he just talks and he hopes that he finds his way where he's going.
Oh, okay. Did you find?
But stop talking. I'm trying to remember. So you said that you would be calling back what? What did you say you'd be calling back? Because that's what triggered that for me.
That I would with what? With the change?
Yeah.
I would be called back and given a new date of death.
Oh, the new date of death. That's what triggered it because of the
Yes.
little paper saying this is how you're going to die. So it was just a little side note.
You got back?
That's it. Yeah, I found my way. I found why I said it.
Got it.
That's what I lose a lot is the why did I start saying this?
You lose your way.
Why did I say that? Sometimes the worst is when you're talking to a patient and you said something and all of a sudden you're like, I have no idea why I just said all of that stuff. Where was I going with it? Oh, yeah. All that to say XYZ.
Yeah. Anyways. Good episode.
Now do the outro and I'll do the
Oh, do the music for the outro?
yeah.
I don't remember how it starts.
I know. Something for us to pay attention to next time.
You gotta talk though.
Wait, isn't that how it begins?
I think it starts like that at the end, and then it finishes differently.
So, I almost feel like we need to put an apology at the beginning of the video or at the end of the video to our audience.
I started too early because now you're talking about
To our-
other stuff.
Oh, sorry.
And it's going longer than my little song can
Our
go.
audience, we apologize for the mess that this episode was. See, to me, this is one episode that gets trashed.
Why?
That's me. This is what I'm saying. My overthinking brain, I
We
analyze
talked about
things.
a lot of really good stuff.
I guess.
It was just messy. It was the long way around.
The super long way around. Yeah.
That's what we'll name this episode.
The long I love
way
that.
around.
That's so good. Let me see. Where did we begin? Getting famous.
The long way around.
Ugh. Oh,
Anyways.
I do want to say one thing before we go.
Okay.
All right. And I just want to clarify with the request that we had to show a little bit of our just on our everyday banter and like our everyday life and all that stuff. When I was saying that I don't want to cater to people or do anything like that, that is not what I mean. Okay. I feel like it's just perfectly natural for people to wonder.
Want to get to know us.
To wonder what is it like, right?
Well, this is allowing people to come into our lives.
Correct. But I'm a very skeptical person when I see things online. And unless I've been following you for a very long time before you were famous and I see where you are now, then authenticity is hard to gauge. Because how many stories have we seen of murders that have been committed and these people had, they were very present on social media with a huge crowd following them, and then all of a sudden he kills his wife and all his children and all this stuff, and it's do you know anybody? You only know what people are showing you. So I get the curiosity of what their everyday life is. There's a lot of channels that I follow that I love when they finally open up and they're like, we're going to give you a tour of our home, or come and do groceries with me. And it's like, okay, now you're getting to see like just everyday stuff. What does she buy? What does she put here? Whatever, right? It's the curiosity that we have. I get it, right? To me, that's not at all what I'm talking about when I talk about I'm not rooting for our channel to take off. That is the last thing that I want, because I don't ever want to feel obliged to now have to create content because I have to give people what they want. Does that make sense? I think it's a very reasonable request. We're still working through what that would even mean, you know?
But we've tried. We put a couple other things out there.
I know. And I don't know that we have a very good idea if this is like a, hey, get ready with us. Like my sister, she has a channel, right? And she's done a day in the life, right? And I think that she captures everything so beautifully. But of course, at the end of the day, everything's edited. And I feel like that's where internally I have like a little, because I don't want to edit our stuff. But it's
okay,
impossible to
our
do
zoo video.
Our zoo video, I thought, I don't know, maybe is that what we're looking at? You know,
But I'm
are
saying,
we're going away for our 25th wedding anniversary. Is that something that we capture? Like, you know, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I'm curious to know what it is that they want to see.
We will try.
Yeah.
And then we'll adjust as we need to.
You know. So that's all I just wanted to clarify that. I wanted that to be.
So outro music?
Yeah, but cue it in. I think I'd rather hear the cued in version.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right. So it's playing already.
All right.
So if you like what you heard.
Which they probably won't today.
Like, subscribe, share, comments. Tell us all that stuff. All the good stuff. You all right?
Yeah.
Say goodbye to the camera.
What do you mean? I don't ever say goodbye to the camera.
Every episode. I always have to remind you. All right,
Deuces.
Ready? Like, subscribe, share, do all the stuff. Follow us on TikTok. I don't know what you're going to find there. We've got videos that we've put on Instagram too. I think that's maybe the way that we're going to share a little bit of our behind the scenes stuff. But we'll see. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the episode. See you guys next week. Bye now. Ooh, don't.
Bye. It's cut the cord, you know.
No, this is cut the cord.
That's what I'm doing.
You did this.
Cut the cord.
Oh. Bye.